Welcome back to the Celtics Nation Rise account. I'm Griffin Aldridge. Alongside me, we have David Karras, and we have some breaking news today. Wyc is no longer the governor of the Boston Celtics. This is breaking news because he was supposed to be the head guy, the head honcho, if that makes sense, through 2028. He was supposed to be the guy having the final say. Bill Chisholm, obviously, you guys knew earlier in the season, had bought the Boston Celtics. However, Wyc was still going to be making those final says. But if you just gave me a great perspective on it too, do you want to mention that for everyone at home, David?
Yeah, so it's a little bit confusing with the initial reporting because Shams, and he has a habit of doing this, made it seem like Wick was out of the picture completely. And that's what we all had thought based on his original tweet that Wick will no longer be involved with the Celtics. But Adam Himmelsbach, who's a Celtics based reporter in Boston, came out with a tweet a few hours later saying that Wick will remain with the organization until 2028, but his title is now alternate governor. So we don't know the whole ins and outs of what that truly means, but what I understand that to be is that Wick will be in the decision making room with Bill for the next 3 years, but Bill will still have the final say, but Wick can offer his input in his 20 plus years of ownership experience when considering decisions.
Well, my initial thought too, David, was why is that? Is there something that's going on behind the scenes? This is my initial thought that Wick is not happy about and doesn't like, and he doesn't want to take full credibility. However, if he's an alternate governor, I'm just confused. Why do you think this would be happening? Because Wick, he's owned the Celtics for years and years and years, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, now instead of me being the governor till 2028, I'm stepping down and going to be the alternate governor, and Bill Chisholm is going to take over. What do you think was behind that? Because I'm a little confused myself. What are your thoughts, though?
Yeah, so it's the whole arrangement between Wick and Bill. It's just been so weird to me when it first came out last summer that Wick was going to be selling the Celtics. I was obviously a little bit disappointed. I think that was the last thing we wanted to hear, and there was a lot of nervousness around the Celtics because that came out right after we won the championship. And then it came out that Wick is going to be staying on for 3 more years as the governor, even though their new owner is coming into town. That whole arrangement just seemed weird to me as well, because think of it like this. Imagine you pay just over $6 billion for a house to buy it, but the previous homeowner is begging to stay in one of the rooms. Isn't that kind of a little weird if you spend all this money to buy a house or a mansion in this case, and the previous owner is just wanting to hang around for 3 more years? No. If I spend
Yeah.
that much money on a house, yeah, I kind of want to clear it out and make it my own house. I spent a ton of money on that. Now, do I think there's internal conflict between Wick and Bill? No, not necessarily. I mean, we don't know for sure, but I think they have a good working relationship. I've seen them doing a lot of you know publicity stunts together and doing interviews with NBC Sports Boston and all that. It seems like the respect is there, at least in front of the camera. But the whole arrangement where someone gives up ownership but stays on as the decision maker was strange to me from the start. So I'm
Yeah.
not fully surprised that this came out because this also happened with Mark Cuban like 1 or 2 years ago when he sold his majority stake in the Mavericks, where he wanted to stay on as governor, and that was the plan. But I think that fizzled out too. So this stuff just never works out when it comes to like mixing responsibilities with money, because obviously the people who are fronting the bill feel that they have the right to be the main decision makers, which is absolutely correct. So I don't know if Wick was forced out. I don't think he was forced out. I do believe, and this is a broader conversation, that Wick did not want to sell the Celtics in the first place. I think that was his dad's decision. I mean, we can go back to last year, right when the finals was going on. Wick, I think, went on Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett's podcast, and he said the Celtics will not be for sale anytime soon. 3 weeks later, oh, we're selling the Celtics due to family needs. Okay, that clearly wasn't his decision. I'm sure his dad who actually owns more of the team than Wyc himself, got involved and said, "We got to cash in on this," which obviously great investment. I mean, they bought the team for 360 million and they sold it for over 6 billion. So that's a crazy return. But it is strange. I thought the arrangement was always strange and weird from the start, but I don't think there's any internal conflicts between Bill and Wyc. I just think that this was going to happen the whole time. This is just took a little bit longer for all of us to hear about this than maybe we expected.
Oh no, totally. And I wanted to say in advance, I'm so sorry about the ticker below. I just realized that I didn't even do the ticker. This is the ticker from yesterday. So after you're done with this video, go to Celtics Talk Weekly and go check out their August 12th, 2025 video. Obviously, where Seamus and Nick Franco, it says it down there, break down the Joe Mazzulla extension, Wyc Grousbeck exiting, and Miles Norris. So this is a little shout out, I guess, down below instead of what we're covering. We're covering, as you guys see up top, breaking news with Wyc. But I'm not changing that. I'll keep that down there for you guys to go check that out after. But this is a Celtics Nation Rise video, so we're breaking this down. But I like that, David. I like what you said right there because it's so true with the fact that, you buy this new shiny object and the previous owner is just like, I mean, has attachment issues. Like, I want to keep it. Like, he loves the Celtics. He's won 2 championships with the Boston Celtics. So this is big. This is big. So it's hard to let go. And I look from Wyc's perspective, he wanted to stay on, but maybe behind the scenes, Bill Chisholm's like, hey, he's like, all right, look, I get that, but I want to take ownership of this. However, it's definitely confusing, and a lot of negative thoughts were in my head at first, but you kind of changed it. I think it was more so now I'm looking at it from this perspective that, Wyc wanted to stay around, but he got the money, he's supposed to be out of the door. Maybe he has other things that he wants to shift his focus on and not keep his main concern on the Boston Celtics. And I know we were talking with Seamus about this once, and I'm interested to go see their thoughts. So go check out the CTW one with them after, because I know when this whole thing went down, Seamus had a very negative look on it, which he should. It's with a new owner, you have to be scared. However, this is a mass guy, and I feel like this guy is
He's
going to
two
do the
towns
right.
over from me, which is funny enough. He's local to me.
And what are your thoughts on Bill Chisholm? Do you like this move, or are you kind of more so on the scared side? Because I will say this, I saw him rocking a Tatum jersey during the playoffs, or I don't know when he was rocking it, but
Right after Tatum got hurt, he showed up to Game 5 with the Tatum jersey. Yep.
so he's a fan. I think he will not break up. I don't think he'll break up JB and JT, and I think Wyc probably has expressed, hey, you can't break them up. And you saw him with a Tatum jersey, so he's obviously a fan. But are you positive on Bill Chisholm, or are you kind of more so on the side of, oh, this is scary, I don't like this?
I'm as positive as I could be about a new owner. I mean, the fact of the matter is he hasn't really been put in the spotlight at all, other than, everything that's happened this summer has really kind of been would have probably happened if Wyc was still in control. Like, we had to
Yeah.
get under we had to cut costs. That's just the way this crappy CBA is structured. Is that teams can't be over the second apron for more than 2 years in a 5-year span, or else your future is screwed. So we had to make a ton of painful trades, but that would have probably happened with any owner. I'm as optimistic as I could be with a new owner. Local guy, encyclopedic knowledge of the Celtics. He always grew up being a Celtics fan. He knows his stuff. He gave Chris Forsberg and Abby Chan a shout out when he went on NBC Sports Boston and do his first interview as Celtics owner back in March. So he's ingratiated in the community, even though he hasn't lived full time in Mass for a while. I think this. I'm excited for it. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be great with Wyc Grousbeck still being in the room because, again, even though he's not going to have final say, he's going to be able to act like a mentor of sorts to Bill Chisholm and like give him advice and like explain from his 20 years, as I said earlier, of ownership experience, what moves to make, what to do. So I think having Wick there still to help him for his first 3 years as owner is going to be great. And yeah, it's just a lot of waiting and seeing with Bill Chisholm, but I get Wyc Grousbeck vibes from him in the sense that it's great that a fan is taking over. Maybe he'll be willing to do what Wick did, where obviously Wick lost a ton of money the year we won the championship. But obviously, as he says, it's like, this isn't about the money. We're going to get repaid in banners. I mean, obviously, getting a $6.1 billion paycheck for your franchise obviously doesn't hurt. But I did love that quote that he gave when we were in the middle of our championship run. So again, we'll just have to do a lot of waiting and seeing with Bill Chisholm. He's not even officially the governor yet. That still has to be finalized. But
Yeah,
even so, it's been right around like 4 months since he's taken over ownership, 4 or 5 months. So we're still very new in the Bill Chisholm era, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Absolutely.
I agree. I look at this. He's a fan. Like he's gonna want banners, and the money obviously is a thing. I mean, buying a team for $6 billion, you're gonna want to get your money back. But at the same time, he's a fan, so he's gonna look at that from that side. And I look at this, and I'm gonna be more optimistic. Optimistic. Obviously, it's scary, but at the same time, I'm optimistic about this, and I see this and you said it with Mark Cuban and the Mavericks. I mean, it was the same situation pretty much. And yeah, that Luca trade went down. That was scary. But now they have Cooper Flag and they could be easily contenders. So weird stuff
It,
happens, but
it wouldn't be a Celtics Nation Rise video without mentioning Cooper Flag.
I know. It's a good example though. They
I know.
got they got the shiny new prize. So I look at it and it can have its ups and downs, but I look at it in a more positive manner. What about you though? Do you agree? I think this could. It's scary, but we need to be optimistic about it. We really do.
Right. I mean, we got to give him a chance. That chance, there's going to come a moment where we'll see what Billy Banners is the nickname they're already given. Billy Banners is made of. So we'll
Really
see
do.
whenever that moment comes. But yeah, I'm as cautiously optimistic as I could be.
Yeah, we could come and watch this a couple years from now and be like, oh my gosh, he's terrible. Or we could look back at it and be like, wow, he was great. So it's very 50-50 right now. So I'm open for it, and there's obviously not too much to say on this except for Wick is no longer now. Obviously, he's not finalized, but he's no longer governor of the Celtics. He'll still be a co-governor, as you said earlier, till 2028. But it's Bill Chisholm's time. It's Bill Chisholm's time. So, with that being said, any final thoughts though you have, David, on this?
I mean, Bill's just saying all the right things to the media, to the fans, and I just hope he sticks
Follow
true
through.
to what he's been saying so far. I hope he just adds to the Jays. I don't think he'll split them up, but I hope when Tatum's back and healthy, hopefully he is still the Jason Tatum we all know and love, and then he can complement Jaylen Brown, and we can just get right back to this championship contending thing. But yeah, I think the real question is going to be Bill Chisholm will likely not be tested at all this year, but 2026, 2027, 2028, when we're still in this prime era of JB and JT, what is going to be happening then? Are we going to be looking to add to them? And hopefully we can add and get another banner with the Jays here in Boston.
Yeah, I hope so, and we will. We will. We gotta stay optimistic. We will get another banner with the Jays. We got it. We got it. We can't end that era. We're very much in the mix of the time with the Jays and banner time. That's all I gotta say. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to be notified every time we upload. Again, it's gonna be crazy all off season with breaking news. So make sure you turn on those post notifications to be notified every time we upload. Again, you guys like and subscribe, and we will see you guys with the next one. Peace, guys.